is officially NFL Combine Week, and we're going to have plenty of coverage for you guys here at all of Chat Sports, but here on Verts as well. My name is Harrison Graham, and Chat Sports sent a full team down there, so a lot of content to be looking out for, and we got some NFL Combine rumors to dive into. And remember, the misconception about the NFL Combine, it's not just about the draft prospects. All 32 teams, the agents, GMs, coaches, they're all there. So you start to see and hear things like, where's this guy maybe going to sign? Is a Myles Garrett trade going to happen? Are the Titans going to trade down? All this stuff starts to crumble out into the media. So we'll have it all covered for you guys here on Verts. We're almost at 8,000 subscribers. Hit that sub button. We wanted to get there before the Combine started, and the first workouts aren't until Wednesday. So that is kind of the unofficial, official deadline. Guys are starting to get there, but no workouts till Wednesday. So if you want to help us reach our goal, hit that subscribe button. We're just over 100 subs away. Okay, let's get into the latest on Matthew Stafford. Again, you're going to hear, trade buzz, all kinds of different stuff this week. The latest is that the Rams, with Stafford and his agent, they're letting those guys basically see what his market is. Talk to the Giants, talk to whoever, and gauge what a contract would look like from other teams. Because right now you've got this situation where it seems like the Rams want to keep Stafford and then Stafford wants to stay with the Rams, but it's a money issue, right? Like Stafford probably says, yeah, I want this much. And the Rams say, well, we're giving you this much. And he says, I'm not going to play for that much. Okay, well, go tell us what your market is based on what teams say, and then we can revisit those numbers, and if we don't like them, we'll trade you to a different team. So I think that's where things are right now. Albert Breer with some reporting earlier today saying, quote, he knows what his value is to other teams because his agent has been able to talk to teams the last 10 to 14 days. He should be among the quarterbacks on deals averaging over $50 million per year. And look, in a vacuum, I agree. He is certainly 9 current quarterbacks make $50 or more million per year. He is certainly worthy of a top 9 quarterback in the NFL, especially when some of those guys are like Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, Tua. He's better than those guys. But he's 37 years old, feels like a year-to-year player, doesn't move that well anymore, although he's still really good. And it doesn't feel like the Rams are going to pay him $50+ million per year. That's the vibe I get. I feel like if the Rams are probably looking at this like, hey, we'll give you 2 for 70, 2 for 80, fully guarantee it, but we're not giving you $120 million on a two-year contract. We're just not going to do it. So I think that's where you're kind of seeing now that he's going to gauge what other teams were willing to pay, and then he kind of first has to figure out, okay, do I care more about the money or the situation? Now, here are some teams currently interested in Stafford. Per Albert Breer, the New York Giants, we've talked about that on this channel. The Cleveland Browns, which if he wants $50 million per year or more, that's going to be tricky considering Deshaun Watson's contract. Pittsburgh Steelers makes a lot of sense. They're a win-now team if they get the right quarterback. And then the Las Vegas Raiders, if they want to get some juice into that team in year one with Pete Carroll, could certainly see that. They've got a good tight end in Brock Bowers. They have the number 6 pick. They could draft Tet McMillan if they can get Stafford without giving that up. They could supercharge that offense pretty quickly. But again, at the end of the day, I think this is going to come down to what Matthew Stafford wants. I don't think there's a single situation out there better than what he's got with the Rams in terms of a path to winning. Pittsburgh's the closest one, but it's still a defensive head coach. Outside of George Pickens, the offensive talent isn't that great. Pat Freiermuth is a solid tight end. I don't know who their running back's going to be. I think Kyron Williams is better than what Pittsburgh will probably trot out there. He's got Nakua in L.A. and obviously Sean McVay. So, do you want to go chase the $50 million per year and play in a situation like the Giants? Or do you want to play for $35, $40 million per year on the next year or two and stay with the Rams? If it's me, he's already made over $300 million in the NFL. I would say in L.A., it's not my money, though. It's his money. So, if he wants to take top dollar, he can do that. I don't think the Rams will give him top dollar. I think they will see what he says and what his agent's saying he can get, and then they will make him an offer, and he'll either take it or he won't, and if he doesn't, they're going to end up trading him. So what do you think is going to happen here? Where will Matt Stafford play in 2025? I still think these two sides find a way to get it done because I think Stafford is going to look at this like, do I want to move again, especially potentially cross-country? I'm 37. LA's got nice weather. McVay, we got this thing kind of rolling right now, win-now team. Or do I want to take a little more money and move all the way to New York or Pittsburgh? I think he ends up staying with the Rams. So that's my prediction. You go ahead and predict it down below. Okay, let's talk some combine-specific things. A few players not working out. Shedeur Sanders not going to work out at the combine. Unclear if Cam Ward will or not. It has been announced that Jackson Dart, Tyler Shuck, Jalen Milroe will all throw, so we'll see how those guys look and whatnot. I don't really have a strong opinion on this, if I'm being completely honest. You always see the social media just overreaction. I saw Matt Miller, ESPN draft analyst, go on NFL Live today, and he said that Shedeur and his camp are missing an opportunity to prove that they're the number one quarterback. You're telling me these scouts and GMs, based on what Shedeur does, throwing in a T-shirt and shorts on air, that's going to be the difference in him being the top quarterback selected or not versus 2 years of film at Colorado, 2 years of film at Jackson State versus the film of other prospects? I just don't believe it. I think there's a reason why less and less top QBs throw, because it doesn't carry that much weight. You don't get a ton out of it if you're a top guy. Now, if you're Joe Milton last year and you're a day 3 project and you're 6'6" with the rocket arm, yeah, go throw, because you might throw a football 85 yards and wow some people, and that might be the difference in you getting drafted. I don't think Shedeur Sanders, who has average NFL physical tools, throwing at the combine is going to be the difference in him going 1st overall or 8th overall. I really just don't. So I don't really care if he throws or not. I don't think there's much upside to throwing. I don't think there's a lot of downside to throwing. Like, if he misses a couple deep balls at the combine, is he going to plummet to the second round? I don't think so. So I think in Shedeur's case, he's kind of a thinner guy. He'll probably do what a lot of thinner prospects do, add some water weight, not work out at the combine, try to weigh in heavier than he actually plays at, and then he'll throw at Colorado's Pro Day. So don't really care either way. We'll see if Cam Ward throws. It'd be cool if they all threw, but I'm not going to sit here and criticize if they do or don't. I just don't think it makes a big difference for a guy who's almost certainly going top 10 anyway. And if he goes 20th, I don't think it's going to be because he didn't throw at the NFL Combine. I think it's going to be because that's probably where he should go, but there's a QB tax, and typically these guys go higher than expected, which is why I would guess he goes somewhere in the top 6 or 8 picks. Okay, Ashton and Jeanty not working out either. He's just going to do medical evaluations and interviews at the Combine. And I think, you're going to see more of this even from certain skill guys. He's clearly the top running back prospect. He does not need to run the 40-yard dash in Indianapolis. I would have loved to see it, because I'd love to see, is he like a 4.4 guy or a mid 4.5s guy? I don't really know where he'll run. If I had to guess, he'd probably be a mid-high 4.4s guy, like 4.45, 4.48, something like that. But he's leaps and bounds the best RB prospect. And remember, ton of carries and touches this year at Boise State. He probably, when the season ended, he probably took 2-3 weeks off because he had so much workload. So don't blame him for doing this at all. Again, I think for a lot of skill guys, they should do the workout drills. But if you're by far the top guy at your position, like Jeanty is, I don't think it makes that big of a difference. And his play style isn't necessarily, I need his combine. I need him to be a combine warrior to justify taking him in the first round. He set all kinds of records. He has great contact balance, good burst, can catch the football, can protect. He's a complete back. Is he Saquon Barkley? No. But is he Saquon Barkley if he does the NFL Combine versus if he doesn't? No. It's not going to change the type of player he is. So no issue with that whatsoever. Abdul also not working out. He's in play to be the number 1 overall pick. He is still recovering from a shoulder injury suffered in the college football playoff. I would guess he's going to do medical evals so teams can get access to where that sits. That's actually pretty important. If there's a questionable medical there, he could dip a few spots. So that would certainly be interesting. I doubt that'll be the case. I still think he's a top 5 lot guy. But he's a little dinged up still from the college football playoff. He reportedly got hurt in the quarterfinal game against Boise State, played through it in the semis against Notre Dame, but then has been rehabbing it ever since. So not going to work out this week. We'll see if he's ready to work out at Penn State's Pro Day, which I believe is in March. But that is where that one sits as of now. Also, just verbally, one that just came in, Elijah Arroyo, the Miami tight end, probably a day 2 guy, but could sneak into day 1. He is also not working out. He got injured at the NFL or at the Senior Bowl back in earlier February. So there is that. Okay, I do want to get to this for a few moments. Is the tush push going to be banned? The Green Bay Packers, according to Diana Rossini, have proposed to ban the tush push. And if you don't know, teams every year could submit rules ideas that they have that they would like to get voted on and passed. And like last year, the kickoff rule was one of them. That one got passed. The tush push this year, I doubt it gets passed. Do I want it to get passed? I wouldn't hate if it did. I'm conflicted about the play. I personally hate the play. It's not aesthetically pleasing. It kind of turns into a weightlifting competition, in my opinion, which obviously being strong in football is very important. It's like a weightlifting rugby play. Like, is that what American football fans want to watch? I personally do not. If you're an Eagles fan, you love it. So, should they get punished for running a play better than everyone else? Probably not. But the players themselves hate it, even Eagles offensive linemen. I remember Jason Kelce came out last year, and he always would kind of have to take a deep breath every time they called it because defensive linemen, they just dive at offensive linemen's knees every time you run it. It is a very taxing play for these guys in the trenches on both sides of the ball. It's not aesthetically pleasing. And at the end of the day, the NFL is an entertainment product. Is that a play they want to continue to gain steam league-wide, or do they want to force teams to be more creative or to run a more traditional QB sneak? I'm conflicted. I don't think it'll pass. If I'm taking just fandom out of it across the board and I just want the most entertaining product possible, I would want it out of the game. But if I'm an Eagles fan or one of these teams that runs it well, I would want it in the game. So, again, conflicted by it. I don't think it'll get passed because you have to get, I think, 75% ownership to sign off. It'll be split, I would guess. I bet you get 50-50, but 75% I do not think will happen. I'll say this, too. I'll just throw this out there. Most quarterbacks, even the ones who do this play pretty well, I don't think their value plummets if this goes away. I think Jalen Hurts' value as a quarterback in the NFL actually goes down a decent bit. Like in the 100% pie chart of what he brings to the table, the tush push has to be at least 10% of it, right? Like, think about the third and fourth down conversions over the course of a season. That play it factors into a season. It probably adds up to a win or two over a 17-game slate. So I do think his value goes down somewhat significantly if this does get outlawed. So keep an eye on that. Don't expect it to, but certainly a storyline that'll be worth watching over the next month or two. Okay, what say you? Should the tush push be banned? Yes or no? Let me know down in the comment section below. And again, we have you guys covered all week long with coverage from the NFL Combine. Players start talking to the media on Wednesday, coaches and GMs tomorrow. So if anything interesting pops tomorrow, we will have that covered for you. My name is Harrison Graham. See you guys soon.